The Lost Shadow Today's story. On a cold, dark night, Emily and her family moved into an old, desolate farmhouse. The house had been purchased by her father, Jack, in hopes of escaping the chaos of the city and leading a quieter life. Emily's mother, Catherine, always focused on domestic duties, but Emily had always questioned her father's decision. There was something about the house that made her uneasy, a constant feeling of being watched. There was one particular room in the house that no one ever entered. It was a room hidden behind a thick, dusty door, and for some reason, Emily was always drawn to it. She couldn't explain why, but it felt as if something invisible was calling her. One evening, feeling restless, Emily found herself standing in front of the door, her hand trembling as she slowly turned the handle. The moment she stepped inside, a gust of cold air rushed past her, and the silence in the room was suffocating, as if the house itself was holding its breath. Her heart pounded in her chest. Suddenly, there was a shadow on the wall, faint yet distinct. It moved, as if alive, stretching and curling in unnatural ways. Emily froze. Her body wanted to retreat, but her feet remained planted to the floor as if some invisible force was holding her there. She felt an intense pressure in her chest, a panic rising from deep within, as the shadow slowly began to take the shape of a face she recognized. "Mom," Emily whispered, her voice quivering with dread. Just as her words escaped her lips, her parents, Jack and Catherine, appeared in the doorway. Jack, looking concerned, stepped forward. "Emily, this house is old. There are bound to be strange things, but you have to ignore them. They're just your imagination playing tricks on you," he said, trying to reassure her, but his words felt hollow. Catherine nodded, trying to mask her own unease. "It's all in your mind, Emily." But deep down, Emily knew this wasn't just in her head. Something dark lingered in this house. Something real. That night, as Emily lay in bed, she was woken by a soft, sorrowful voice. The voice sounded far away, yet so close. "Help me," it cried, "help me." The words pierced her heart, and a chill swept over her body. She tried to ignore it, but the voice grew louder, more desperate. She climbed out of bed, unable to resist the pull, her heart racing with fear and curiosity. As she walked down the dark hallway, she felt the presence of something behind her, something watching her every step. At the end of the hall, Emily saw it, an unsettling dark shadow, moving towards her. Her breath caught in her throat. This shadow, it wasn't just any ghost. It was something much worse. It had the face of her mother, Catherine, but it was distorted, twisted in pain. Her mother's eyes, once filled with love, were now hollow, empty. The shadow stretched out toward her, the air thick with malice. Emily's mind raced. "No, no, no," she whispered, her pulse pounding in her ears. Her body froze in terror. She wanted to scream, to run, but the shadow was already too close. "Mom," she cried out in desperation, but the shadow only laughed, a low, guttural laugh that sent shivers down her spine. Suddenly, her father, Jack, appeared from behind her, but something was off about him too. His face was pale, his eyes wide in fear. "Emily," he whispered hoarsely, "it's too late. The house, it's consuming us." Before Emily could react, Jack collapsed to the ground, his body convulsing as if something was tearing him apart from the inside. The shadow in front of her grew larger, engulfing the room in darkness, and Emily could hear her father's broken sobs. "Please," Emily cried, tears streaming down her face. "We need to leave. We need to get out." But the house wouldn't let them. As if the walls themselves had come alive, the doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. The air grew colder, and the presence of the shadow grew stronger. Emily could feel the darkness wrapping around her like chains, pulling her deeper into despair. The next morning, when the sun barely broke through the mist, Emily found her mother, Catherine, standing in the living room. But there was something wrong. Her mother's eyes were lifeless, her face expressionless. "Mom," Emily whispered in a broken voice. Her mother turned slowly, and for a brief moment, Emily saw the same twisted shadow in her eyes. "Leave," her mother's voice came out as a raspy whisper. "Leave now, before it's too late." Emily's heart shattered as she understood the truth. This house wasn't just haunted by spirits. It was feeding on the pain, the fear, the regret of its inhabitants. And now, it had consumed her family. With trembling hands, Emily grabbed her mother's lifeless hand, pulling her toward the door. But before she could escape, the shadow enveloped her completely. Her scream echoed through the house, but it was swallowed by the darkness. The house remained silent after that, as if it had claimed another victim. Emily's voice, her pain, and her sorrow all faded into nothingness, becoming just another lost shadow. And the house stood, waiting for its next victim. In this version of the story, the emotions of fear, desperation, and loss are intensified, as the shadow becomes a manifestation of the family's deep-seated pain and unresolved trauma. The horror isn't just supernatural, it's emotional, consuming not only the physical bodies but also the spirits of the characters. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to Night Howl for more chilling tales like this. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends, so these hidden secrets and sorrowful stories reach the world.